Okay. 可以吗？是吗？Okay, so just to start off, I'm going to ask you some kind of introductory questions. So, what is your name?
My name is Piri.
Perry, okay. So at UAB, what do you study? What's your major?
Well, my major is information management and information system.
Okay, cool. That is a long name for a major.
Yes, it is.
So where are you from originally? Were you kind of born and raised in Beijing, or are you from another place in China?
Well, I'm from Urumqi, another city in China.
Oh, okay. So and it's like Xinjiang, right?
Yes, Xinjiang.
Okay, very cool. So how long have you personally studied English for?
Approximately 7 or 8 years, I think, or 9 years. Yeah.
Okay.
Ever since when I was in third grade in primary school.
Okay, cool. So for you personally, is there any kind of study methods or ways of study that you find to be very useful or efficient?
Yes, there is. I find it really easy to learn through movies, through TV series, and through podcasts, and yeah, and even reading original novels, English original novels. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So podcasts. So with podcasts, is it kind of like news oriented or is it like talk show kind of things? What kind of podcast?
Well, all kinds of. I listen to news and
Yeah.
sometimes listen to those radio shows. It tells stories. I think stories are more engaging, so you can learn a lot more through stories.
Yeah, it's true. I often like because I listen to China's got like a, CRN news station and I listen to their programs and one of their programs is a story telling one and I listen to that one all the time and it is definitely engaging because you kind of like get brought into the story and you're like invested in it. Um, okay, so is there any? So would you say there's a secret or like a key, something very essential to learning English?
Well, I think I think most important thing is when you start off learning English, the most important thing is to start by mimicking. You can mimic other people's tones, other
Mm-hmm.
people's or just native speakers' tones, their way of thinking in
Yeah.
this language. So this is so everything should start off by mimicking, and then you will speak the language naturally by yourself.
Really? So mimicking is you find to be very effective.
Yes. And
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So aside from English for a sec, a question on another topic. So what did you do for because the national Chinese national holiday just ended? What did you do for the national holiday?
Well, I stayed at school. Uh, of course, we just cruise around on skateboard around around in campus, and yeah, we visited some other museums in Beijing, and it was pretty cool. Yeah.
OK，刚才说到哪儿了？
对。
哦，好。So for the national holiday, did you watch the military parade or anything on TV pertaining to the holiday?
Yeah, yes, I did. It was very it was amazing. It was really amazing, and everyone is very excited and emotional, and just it's it was magnificent, to be honest with you, that the parade and everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched it too. It was pretty crazy, like the formations they did and the how well they were synced up. I guess I should say
Yeah.
was pretty unbelievable. But yeah. So okay. So back to another question. If what was the question I wanted to ask? 想想. Okay, so how about this one? I'll do the celebrity one. Okay, so for another question, are there any kind of celebrities or are there any kind of people who speak English like really well and you kind of see them as a role model or someone where you're like someone who's like a non-native speaker but nevertheless has just studied it really well? Is there anyone who you kind of look up to like that?
Um, yeah, I think I really look up to, polyglots, people who
Oh yeah,
speak lots of
yeah.
languages, more than one, more than two, who
Yeah.
are multilingual. I really look up to those people. I saw someone on the internet, and this person speaks 5 languages from very different cultures. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That is a lot. And like speaks them well, I
Yeah,
imagine.
and speaks it really well.
Okay. And another question. So, when it comes to like translations between, because I imagine you speak, what's the language you speak natively?
Chinese and my own language, Kazakh language.
Okay. So you speak Kazakh language, you speak Chinese language, and you also speak English.
Yes.
Now, between these different languages, do you ever find that there is words that are difficult to translate back and forth, or there's some words in certain languages that just cannot be translated over?
Yes, I think there is. There are lots of some slangs, maybe some words that is very tied with your culture,
Yeah.
tied with your language. So I think those are very difficult to translate back
Okay.
and forth. Yeah.
I find personally that the names of a lot of like Chinese dishes are kind of very hard to translate. Like like ludagor.
Yeah.
Like how would you translate that?
Uh, it's difficult, but if it's made of dough, I would translate it into if it's a fried dough,
Yeah.
maybe translate it into fried dough.
So
But
so
not specifically translate it with something like donkey.
donkey rolling around. So you'd like kind of like you wouldn't do a direct translation. You would have to kind of say like describe actually what the thing is or how it's made.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much it. That's pretty much the whole interview. Thank you for participating, and yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.